What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Haven't done a live stream on this side of on this channel in fucking forever. So we are over on 8-Bit Hooligans. We being me, apparently. And well, I figured I'd do some gaming news because I'm bored of talking about other things on the main channel and want to do some gaming stuff and, you know, get into that versus, you know, all the craziness that's going on in the world of politics. I do have Discord open, so if you want to jump in and you're one of the regulars or anybody who has the Discord, feel free to. I know I'm trying to get Sicko to jump in if he's bored enough, and because he went to bed early tonight, which is quite weird for him. He's usually up until 11, 12, playing some Call of Duty, but apparently his old man-ness kicked in today, so yeah. We're going to be talking about the leaks that came out over the last few days. We're also going to be talking about some PlayStation 5 news and some, obviously, Microsoft Series X news. What's going on right now and leaks that occurred with them. Let me shut off the commercials here. Go ahead and remove this real quick. Sorry, I'm still my OBS setup's not my old way, so there we go. We'll be talking about all that stuff. If you do want to join, just drop it in chat and let me know. Obviously, this channel is fairly clean, and swearing occasionally is cool and all, but let's keep the political side of things out of it. Gaming, only gaming, talking video games, leaks, everything else going on. Hope you're all having a good night. Those of you joining on any of the AG Luck channels, what's up? Twitch and DLive and 8-Bit Hooligans over on YouTube. What up, guys? Thanks for joining. So I figured we'd start off with a pretty substantial leak coming out of the Microsoft camp that led up to them having to confirm. Sorry, I got to get the other article page because it shows better. There we go. This article's obviously on the Verge. Verge is freaking terrible, but they have a good article. And Microsoft confirmed prices for their mini fridge, for their HAL unit, their Xbox Series X. Yes, this is the smallest Xbox ever, guys. Congratulations. We slammed everything into this small housing, and it's not going to red ring, we promise. We learned our lesson from the 360, and the 360, while it had its issues, was a great console. But we promise there won't be a huge failure rate. No, I don't know how this thing's going to cool itself. That's a huge ass ventilation system, so hopefully it stays cool. But damn, that unit is very, very small in comparison for what it's got in it. And it's not their Series X, which is their most powerful version of it. The Series S, which, oh man, all these names, Xbox One X, Xbox One S, Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X. Like, you would think that they would just come up with a name. The Xbox 3 Pro and the Xbox 3. Or the Xbox 3 Digital and the Xbox 3. How are parents going to know what their kids want at Christmas. Mom, get me the new Xbox. Mom, get me the new Xbox. Okay. Yes, sweetie, I love you so much. I love you, and I'm going to buy you an Xbox at Christmas. Parents walk into the store and say, I want an Xbox. And the guy at Best Buy or GameStop's like, oh, do you want the Xbox One X, the Xbox One S, the Xbox One, the Xbox Series S, the Xbox Series X? And the parent is going to lose their mind. This is not friendly to non-gamers. This is not friendly to their key demographic, and I don't understand their naming sequence. It makes no sense to me, and I have no clue. Anyways, hours after Microsoft Series 1X console widely leaked, the company has gone on the record and confirmed its existence. In a tweet, Microsoft describes the Series S as offering next-gen performance in the smallest Xbox ever. Pardon me. And lists the price as the previous leaked $299. In the UK, it'll cost $249 because the exchange rate, where our money's a little less valued versus the UK. It's coming November 10th, which means that the X is probably coming November 10th as well. Unless they do a staggered release and they release this first, hoping to drum up some interest, maybe trying to push this system out. If they have a November 10th release date, Sony's probably going to be right around there too. I would assume. That makes sense. It's coming November 10th. The company revealed in a new trailer later in the day. The company image gives a better look at the Series S than the first leaked picture, showing off how thin it is and confirming the lack of a disc tray, which means it's digital only. It's just like the digital only version they did recently on the Xbox One. As with the leaked imagery, the Series S is pictured standing upright, which is a first for Xbox consoles, being able to stand upright. But the orientation of the logo suggests it's expected to be more commonly used on horizontal configuration, like every other console. I don't know why you would stand your console up and down. That was a huge push that Sony made, I guess maybe for the way your layout of your media center and entertainment center is, but I never have kept any of my consoles upright, and I think it was the PS3 that had some minor issues with disc tray reading and disc falling against the reader when it was set horizontally. So I don't know why they keep doing this. Maybe it's for the way people have their media centers configured or whatever the case may be. It just doesn't make much sense. Now Xbox is getting in on it, and they are releasing the mini fridge and the washing machine very soon. I'm just making jokes. If you're an Xbox fan, so be it. I don't mind Xbox, but I won't be buying this generation for the simple fact that PlayStation, to me, has shown that they are going to have the games, and PlayStation had the games this generation. They have the exclusives. They have the cross-plats that both system has, and they get timed exclusives and shit like that, and that's going to push me over to the PlayStation. If I want to play an Xbox game, I'll get Game Pass and play it on my PC. Simple as that. Why would I waste the money buying two consoles like I usually do when I have a decent PC that's pretty future-proof and I could play Xbox games on PC? Yeah, I mean, it's not a motivator to sell the console, you know what I mean? If they didn't have gameplay, I would buy a console, maybe, depending on what they have exclusive-wise. Gives a better look, as with the leak imagery, standing upright, whatever. I already read that. That's about all for the announcement right now. Microsoft says it will share more information soon, and then they dropped a trailer, apparently. I didn't catch the trailer. This was at 12 a.m. because of the leak. That's the only reason they probably came out with it, because the leak image of the Series S. Oh, here's the here's the reveal. Let me make sure this is lined up nicely. Yeah, it's lined up nice enough. We'll play that real quick. Let me make sure I got volume. There we go.
Let me hear you.
Oh. Well, there goes the music. I fucking hate commercials. I don't understand why you need to put in. I find some cool music that's not going to get me freaking copyrighted. I don't know how they're going to house all that shit in it. Still has the SSD, which is nice, which will definitely help with load times. I just don't understand how they're going to up to 120 frames. So I don't know if they're going to be able to. That's another thing they do that I don't understand. Like, go away, stupid. I don't understand why they always push Game Pass. Like, I understand they want to do the games with the service thing and streaming, and that takes away the full ownership of said license. And if you lose, let's say you lose your Microsoft account, then you can't play those games. You have to create a whole new account and pay for a new subscription. I don't understand that. 100 high quality games, guys. Games optimized for next gen. But all these games they're showing are current gen, except for, well, those two were next gen. All that Destiny, all this stuff is, all these images were, hold on, what we got here? All digital, 1440p, DirectX ray tracing, variable rate shading, variable refresh rate, which means it's upscaling. Yep, it's 4K streaming playback and upscaling. So it's doing what the PS4 Pro did, essentially with the S. The price point makes sense if it's gonna not be native. What up, Wyatt? Thanks for joining, buddy. I don't understand the thought process of putting out a console that is extremely lower in power and capability than your core system. It doesn't make sense to me. I guess maybe so you catch people who are, fickle with their money, or parents who are like, I'm not going to spend, let's say, $600 on the Series X. That seems really expensive when this could do pretty much similar, except for it's going to be, not that 8K is relevant right now. 8K isn't relevant. 8K TVs are at the price of what flat screen TVs were when they first came out, and that's like fucking 4Gs, 5Gs for a TV, 2Gs. Yeah, it's not common in every household. 4K is barely becoming common in most households. You're looking at 1080p is still the most common, and it's upticking of high def. You do not need something that can play 8K. You might want it. It might be a little future proof, but the viability of 8K is not going to come around for the next 10 years. Look how long 4K has been around, right? 4K has been a thing for at least 5 years, and it's still not widely. Yeah, I agree with you, Wyatt. I do think it's kind of overrated because the human eye can barely differentiate between 1080p and 4K. And when you throw 4K on 60 frames per second, maybe with video games it looks good, but movies elsewise, it looks really, really weird. It looks extremely weird, and it's, I don't know, 8K cinematography is just weird looking. So as long as they can make it look good, I'll hang out with it. I think 2K or 4K is just good enough. Yeah, I mean, visually, you can't tell a massive difference. I mean, you would have to side-by-side TVs to see the difference with your own eyes. However, the console leaked. Windows Central reports that both the Series X and Series S will launch on the 10th. Okay, with the previously announced high-end X selling for $499, I don't think so. I do not believe that's going to sell for $499. It can't. The amount of hardware in there, unless they're going to sell the console for a massive loss, they can't sell the Series X for $499. As The Verge has previously reported, the Series S, codename Lockhart, designed to play next-gen games, smaller, cheaper package with less GPU power and lower resolution output than the Series X. Yes, I'm going to contest that. I do not believe they'll be able to do it at that. Why? For the simple fact that the amount of hardware and everything in there. Okay, we'll compare it to the PS5, right? It's more powerful than the PS5. Instead of being like 8 or whatever, 10, I think 8 or 10 teraflops. The Xbox Series X is like 12. That's a hardware increase price. And the PlayStation 4 build price is $450. I mean, PlayStation 4, pardon me. PlayStation 5's build price is around $450. Now, if that's around $450, the Series X has got to be around $550 to $600 for a build price. There's no way they're going to sell it for $499 unless they're willing to take a massive, massive loss. That just does not seem like it's viable. Well, they're going to upscale and stuff like that. I could see it working because the PS4 upscaled and, used the cross-hashing way of making whatever they did to make it look like 4K, upscaled to 4K, which is fine. I'm okay with that. I don't think native 4K is absolutely needed to enjoy a game. Frame rate is a huge issue in certain games, but then other games it's like you can run it at 30 frames a second, 24, like a movie. Most movies are shot in either 24 or 30 frames per second. So, I mean, cool, you're running 60 frames per second or you're running 120 frames per second, but you also have to find TVs that can handle upper of 144 megahertz, because 120 frames is pointless if you don't have a TV that refreshes fast enough. It's gonna look weird. Take my laptop's a 300 hertz refresh screen. If it was running at 144 and the 4K levels that it's at, I would have issues. I still think with the new RTX 30 series and them costing much, I think PC is a way to go if you can afford it. No, I 100% agree, and I think graphically it's going to be the superior. It's like $500 for that card. But if you want to play on a TV, if you don't want to sit at a desk, you don't want to have to move your shit around or your office to be able to play on a TV, then consoles will always be the main way, right? My argument here is my motivating factor for video game consoles are the games, right? I usually end up on the system that has the most games that I want, that has the best stories, the best gameplay. I don't care if it's slightly graphically, inadequate or underwhelming compared to the other one. Because if they don't have the games, what's the point of having great graphics? You don't have shit to play, right? Now, Xbox, Microsoft, has an issue with keeping studios open, using studios, and they haven't really shown any kind of follow through with wanting to be a game company. I feel like they want to be a service provider. They are hyping up their cloud network. They're hyping up Game Pass and all these things, right? These are things that don't matter if you have a PC. If you have a PC, you can get Game Pass on your PC and play all those games. The Microsoft exclusives that everyone is saying that they're going to have and all these things, they'll go to Game Pass. Anything that's a Microsoft studio will go to Game Pass. So if everything's going to go to Game Pass and I could just play it on my PC, I don't need to buy an Xbox Series X, Series S. I can play it on the PC. The big issue they've had is that they cross-platform their stuff with PC. And that's not knocking PC players. You know, I know y'all do your thing and, you know, whatever, PC Master Race and all that shit, but they basically destroyed the reason to buy a console, which was having games that you can only play on said console. PC still has games that you can only play on PC, but it's becoming more minute. You're starting to see things like Pathfinder make its way over to the consoles, and Rust is coming over the consoles, and you know, Fortnite and all these others that end up coming over to the consoles in the long run, because console ownership is much higher than gamer PC players. It just is. Because why? Because people want a cheap Blu-ray player, they want a media device and a gaming system all in one, and they have it without having to move their tower next to it. PC, you're 100% right. There are issues with those kind of games with PC where you have people who aimbot and you have people who take advantage of the system and the fact that they could get into the coding of the game a lot easier than you can on a console, and they cheat. And that is a detriment to PC. But if I want to play Xbox, Microsoft Xbox exclusives, I'll just play them on PC. I'll play them on PC. So yeah, so the price leaked. It was $299 for the S, claiming $499 for the X. I don't think so. I don't think it's possible. Alrighty. Check this out. This is interesting, right? This is a very weird situation that came about. PS5 looks even better after Xbox Series X price leak shock. This was yesterday, I believe. It's looking more expensive by the minute, right? Xbox Series X launch is set for November 10th. Microsoft is in a stalemate with Sony right now, meaning that neither have announced prices except for the S. This was 2 days ago. We're already in September, and gamers are getting impatient. So Microsoft may have to abandon waiting for PS5. The reason they're trying to outwait Sony, but Sony doesn't have to do anything. 110 million units sold this generation already, and it's gonna keep selling. So they're not gonna be able to wait out Sony. Sony will wait them out and announce their price after them, because Microsoft always does the stupid thing and slips up and lets things happen early. The PS5 price reveal before showing its own hand and dropped the details we're desperate for, but the price may have just slipped out from the most unlikely places. Pringles is running a contest in South Africa. It has a Series X up for grab, and looking at the information on the price pool spotted by Twitter user Cavi via Forbes, the estimated value is stated as $621,000 for 46 consoles, which puts a single Series X at around whatever $13,500. With a direct conversion, that leaves us with a price tag valued at $810 and 614 pounds, I believe that's pounds, euros, I don't know, whatever it is. That's significantly more expensive than the $599 price that was recently rumored, which we were skeptical about at the time. As it said that Microsoft is keen to undercut Sony this generation, the Japanese tech hardware is rumored to be $4.99. So that doesn't quite check out. If the value of it is whatever their estimate is, whatever that, I don't know, that denomination is, that's a fucking huge. So here it is. This person posted on Twitter. Looks like Pringles, of all brands, broke the Series X price for South Africa. If my math checks out, if my maths, I hate the way Europeans say math. You're not doing multiple things. It's one thing. It's if my math checks out. If my maths, why do they put? Anyone gonna explain to me why Europeans put an S at the end of math? This puts the Series X at around 13,500 locally. Unsure if that's excluding tax. And here's the breakdown. They're saying the stated value is estimated recommended retail value, including GST in South Africa, provided by the supplier and is correct at the time of printing. The promoter accepts no responsibility for any violation in the value of the price variation of the price pool. That's really, really high. Series X consoles will be filled once the product launch has occurred in South Africa. That is really high. As the Twitter user notes, South Africa tech has a higher RRP than other regions. We don't know if the price includes tax, and this is the estimated value, so we can't jump to too many conclusions. Microsoft lost out to Sony in terms of the amount of consoles sold last generation, but it's leaning heavily into Game Pass for its next strategy. Okay, let's say they included tax. Let's say they included tax in the base value, because they generally do in contests. If the suggested retail prices, I don't know what their tax increase is, but their tax increase cannot be double the 100%. Their tax cannot be 100%. If they're wanting to hit that $4.99 mark, that tax markup would have to be $100. Now, if they were running at $5.99, that would be about 40% tax. I don't know what the... Here, let's see if we can... Was it South Africa? Was that where it was? South Africa retail price of PS4. Okay, so 6299, whatever that is. Let's see. You got to figure out what their valuation is. That was on, I suggest retail price. Okay, so this is at launch. Okay, cool. Let's see if it'll that rupees. Let's see. ZAR. Okay. 6299 is roughly $361. All right. That, to me, seems like that probably doesn't include tax. I mean, it probably does include tax, but if you do... Yeah. So hold on. That's today, obviously, and that was it. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see in 2013. It's 2013. I don't. What is this? ZAR? Is that what it's called? ZAR? Oh. South African rands. ZAR. There we go. Let's look at that. What is it? 6299. no, I don't want. See, that's the problem. Is okay. Almost 10,900. Shit, dude. I hate trying to do 100. There we go. That'll be the easiest, right? Hundreds. We'll do it by hundreds. Here we go. So let's go 6299 divided by 100. 6299 times 9.5279. It's equivalent to $600. 62 at the time. Yeah. So that would be tax included. It would have to be tax included. So their cost is $600, right? When it was what, $399 here in the US? So that does include tax. That's 400 divided by 499. That's a 20% tax, right? So a 20% tax is what they were 20 in 2013. So if the console was $399 and it cost them equivalent to $600 because of their exchange rate, because of taxes elsewise, that's a 30%. Yeah, that'd be almost a 30% increase. Oh fuck, dude, that's a 50% increase. Jesus Christ, that tax rate's fucking. Brazil's the same way. Anyways, so even if it's a 50%, if you go 850 divided by 250, that still puts it at $600. Yeah, if it's equivalent to $850 and it's roughly a 50% tax, that puts it right around $600, $599. So most likely they'll fucking drop it, and it's gonna be that much. It's gonna be $599. Microsoft lost out Sony in terms of consoles sold. The Xbox Series X is a cheaper digital only option, and the decision to discontinue its current all digital Xbox One S and 4K capable X1X. Hold on, so they're canceling the Xbox One X as well? Wow. Suggests it's funneling gamers in the ecosystem towards buying the next gen. Microsoft is willing to take a loss on the hardware in short term for the gains from Game Pass, but I know they're super set on this Game Pass shit. But if you do the math on Game Pass, if a game comes out and you sell 10 million copies at $60, that's what, 600 million? No, hold on. 10 million at like $60 million made, right? You divide that up, usually 20% to the platform, or even maybe higher than that, but let's say 20% of that money goes to Xbox. They're still making more from one single game than they would with Game Pass, because Game Pass is $1 for 3 months, $1 per month for 3 months, I think, or something like that, and then it's $10 a month. If the person doesn't stick around for more than 3 months, then you've just lost a massive amount of money, and they've played all the games they want to play for those 3 months, especially if they're exclusives. So betting their back on the subscription model is kind of interesting. Now, can they take a fat loss? They potentially could. They could go down to $499 and match Sony, because that's what Sony's most likely going to cost, is $499. But the issue at hand is, would they be willing to take that huge of a loss? Microsoft also, one thing that people don't realize, Microsoft with their Xbox division does not, and I repeat, does not make all of their peripherals. They have third parties that they make their hardware, like controllers, headsets, shit like that through. Now, Sony makes almost every one of their things, and then has licensing for controllers and other things that third parties can make, but it's not pushed as heavily. And they make devices like their cameras and their headphones and shit like that. You could use any headphones with the Sony controllers, but the question becomes, if they aren't making out taking a, let's say, $100 loss, maybe a little more, $100 loss on the console per person, and they sell 5 million units, then they have to sell a minimum with Game Pass. In the first year with Game Pass, they have to make $100 off that person. If they get the first 3 months at a discounted rate, they are going to barely scrape right under, they'll be $89 probably. They also have to sell software, discs. If they aren't selling discs, then what are they doing? No, they're going to release it. The PlayStation 5's been ready. The PlayStation 5, I'll tell you this, the reason why Sony's going to release it, Sony was the first to market. And by that, I mean, Sony had their dev kits in the hands of developers last year. They had pretty damn close to what they ended up with in the hands of developers. And if anything, I think they changed minor things that won't affect the dev kits, and then they sent out, replacement things for the small dev kit, right? Sorry, that's background noise. Doing the laundry, guys. Doing the laundry. I'll wake you up. I woke the dog up, and she looks pissed. She's making a weird face. And she's staring at me as I'm talking, like I'm talking to her, because I'm making eye contact. But no, it's one of those things where they had dev kits in the hand of the developers late last year, so they had their console tentatively ready. Now, dev kits are just, nuts and bolts. They don't have aesthetic or look. It's just the stuff they're using in the system. And Microsoft, I don't even know if Microsoft had dev kits out in people's hands yet. They probably barely do, since they announced in early January or February, whenever they first announced. Because what's interesting, you see these leaks coming out with Microsoft and these other things that not really much has come out on the Sony front. It's interesting, there's a lot of speculation, and there's a supposed price leak on Sony, and if it's true, I hope it is. But they haven't confirmed it, is the thing. So it's just floating in the ether. But the question at hand is this. If you don't have your system out in the hands of the developers, what are they working on? And that's third-party developers too. Not just Sony giving it to their, their own studios, but they have it out to other developers. And that's the big thing that a lot of people aren't realizing, is that they've handed these units out, and the question becomes, is Microsoft going to really have the Xbox One X 100% done? Now they have to. They have 2 months. They have 2 months to ensure, I don't know what their production levels are going to be. At least 5 million units. They're going to need at least 5 million units to put out into the marketplace. Because if they don't have 5 million units out there in North America, that's going to be a big problem. Sony is aiming for 10 million, I believe is the last I heard, and that is worldwide, with most of them going towards North America. So probably 5 million to North America, 2 to 3 million spread throughout the world, and 2 million or so probably straight in Japan. The question becomes, is that going to be enough? With COVID, it will make... I don't think so, because you're betting on, well, maybe for Microsoft. Well, no, because I think they're developing in... Where does Microsoft develop their shit? They're not developing in the U.S. I guarantee you they're not actually producing the systems here in the U.S. It's some other country that's building them. I'll wager money that they're building them in Taiwan or China or Mexico, in another country that's not as heavily hit as COVID. And if Sony in Japan can pull off that many, you think China gives a shit? Dude, they'll let motherfuckers die on the floor making products. You know what I mean? Yeah, they locked down for a while. They still will, probably pull out 5 million. They have to pull out 5 million if they want to keep up to snuff. Sony needs to make at least 5 million to 10 million to keep on par. And I'd say by summer, Sony will probably hit the 5 million to 10 million mark if they're at that of total units sold, not just to retailers, because a lot of people count game sales and other things in this industry as facts when they're counting not consumer purchases. They're counting sales to retailers, and then retailers have to, if they can't sell it or whatever, that's why you get bundles. That's how you get freaking games extremely discounted at places like Walmart, because like they back and bet on, whatever. When they come out and say over 3 days, 4 million units of this game sold. No, that's 4 million units sold, not to consumers, to the distributors and the people who are holding on to it to sell it to, the everyday Joes, the GameStops, the Walmarts, the Targets. You don't get true sales figures for things like DVDs and video games until the end of the month. Generally, having worked in those retails, you don't have those stats. They don't go out to the manufacturer or the creator and studios on a daily basis, so they don't know those numbers. They're just betting their numbers on the fact that they sold X units. And so, cool, you sold 4 million units, and how many are going to get returned, But to keep it from being another Nintendo Wii, the Nintendo Wii still is, the Nintendo Switch is still super hard to find in a lot of regards around here in California. And I'm sure that has a lot to do with COVID and people wanting entertainment during this trying time. But it's also because they're not manufacturing. I think they're intentionally creating low supply to impact the demand and have the conversation, However, if Sony can pull out 5 to 10 million, and Microsoft needs to do the same if they want to stay relevant, and if they want to make sure they're going to be able to go on par and go above the numbers that they currently did this generation, they're going to need to pull out that, and they need to sell within the first year, and they need to sell 15 million units, 20 million at least. Because you saw Sony, I think Sony did 20 to 30 million units in their first year. So, like, but they don't care. I don't think they care anymore about those kind of things. My voice is getting sore, so I'm going to grab some water. I'll throw on some music and put the commercials back on. I love commercials. I'll throw on a little bit of music, play in the background while, whoops. No, I don't want to. I don't want to go back to that. I'll throw on some of the music, and I will be right back. Let me fix this, though, because it's playing on the freaking, boom, there we go. I'll be right back, guys. Alrighty, I'm back. So yeah, I think both sides are really looking forward to their games coming out and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know how Microsoft's gonna pull it off. Let's see. I'll show you guys. In case you haven't seen PS5. Don't care about freaking that. We'll just run that in the background. Let me see. This has actual gameplay footage, I think. I don't know which one, which game this is, obviously, but I know that they have a lot of great looking games coming out, and that's the. Let me make sure my shit's on HD. There we go. There you go. 2K. So this is 2K, uploaded in 2K on this person's video. So I mean, the games, both consoles look like they could have great visual elements to their games. I think it's possible. But the issue at hand that I have is if you don't have games to play, what motivates me to buy your console? Now, if let's say 6 months, a year down the road, Xbox starts coming out with some really good games, I'll buy Game Pass. I'll pay for Game Pass and play it on the PC. Because of the simple fact that they might have something that I'll enjoy. This is this is Horizon Westworld, Horizon Westland, whatever the hell it is. It's a Horizon game. Sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. Looks really good. I fucking still haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn. I need to. But it looks like it's going to be a great game. The issue at hand is it doesn't... Halo's not coming out until next year. It got pushed back. I just don't... Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn just went to, it was a PlayStation exclusive, a PlayStation Studio did it, and they opened it up to PC. Oh, look, it's freaking, what's his name? He was in John Wick. He was the concierge in John Wick. Horizon Zero Dawn just went to PC, Steam, and it's doing well, apparently, I think. I heard it's a really good game. I just haven't, Forbidden West, that's what it's called. Yeah, it's on Steam. I haven't played it myself, so that's the thing at hand. So I can't speak to it. But it looks, I mean, visually looks badass, and the fact that you had games this generation that came out that looked like Ghost of Tsushima did. You have games that came out that were really freaking good. This will be the new Spider-Man, which I enjoyed the first one, and this DLC or whatever people want to call it, this expansion, that's a $40 to $50 expansion, I think, is what it's essentially going to be, but it's going to be a standalone game. Even though people keep saying it's an expansion, whatever. I don't give a shit. Give me Miles Morales and I'll freaking swing around New York again. I am still playing the Avengers. I was actually thinking about popping it on stream after I get done with this little bit. Might as well continue on the gaming. I was actually thinking about playing Spider-Man again just because it was such a great game. I 100% that game super quick because I really enjoyed it and put in all the time to actually go through it. I was wanting some of the freaking gameplay footage, but this person says this is not gameplay, buddy. You fucking clickbaiter. These are all well, let's see. What game is this? Captured on PS5. Yeah, and that's the thing, is they've captured all their stuff on their actual units. Unreal 5 engine. That's cool. Oh, is this just a I think this is just a visual. No, you're just showing footage from PlayStation. I'm not gonna subscribe to you. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna like your stuff because you're just showing their stuff. I don't know what game this is, but that freaking weird ass freaking. I don't know. That looks really, real realistic. So, my point being is, if I'm gonna buy a console, right? I want that console to have games. Xbox has decentralized the purchasing of a console by making it available on PC. There is no point in me Godfall? See, there we go. This is on PlayStation. Alright, there we go. Let's see, what is this? 1080p is their highest. They're putting out games that look really good. I don't know if this is exclusive. I'm going to assume it's exclusive. It says it's a loot slasher fantasy IP coming to PS5 this holiday. So yeah, it's probably Diablo-esque, but way different graphically. It looks fucking good. Well, my point being is, if I want a console, it's not just about power. Gaming is one of the complaints is they wish there was a male character. Jesus Christ. Such a bitchy little complaint, dude. I've seen gameplay footage. I've heard gameplay footage. It looks fine with what it is. Like, anyone bitching about stuff like that, just I don't understand the thought process and bitching about something like that. So, rumors came out. The PS5 price and pre-order info may officially come out tomorrow. This came about because leaks from multiple UK video game retailers suggest that Sony is announcing the price of the PS5 and unveiling pre-order details tomorrow. This was published 9 hours ago. Sony may be about to announce lots of new information about the PS5, with some reports of a retailer leak suggesting that pre-order details and the price could be revealed as soon as tomorrow. This would come as a surprise after Sony recently confirmed that it would be putting talk about the future console on hold as it updates fans about its plans for PSVR over the next coming days. There have been constant rumors about the PS5 in recent months. The lack of real information from Sony about the next-gen console has left a big hole, which has been filled with speculation. Despite a wide array of leaks, the cost of the PS5 is still unknown. Indications from different industry insiders that it could range from $499 to $599. If they went $599, they'll piss people off. Sony's okay with making $30 a console. If it's $450, they'll make $30 after you consider marketing into the budget. Make it one of the most expensive gaming systems in recent memory. No, your recent memory is very, very minute. The PS3 came out at $599. What Hi-Fi reports, what Hi-Fi? What the hell is that? What a terrible name. What Hi-Fi reports that Sony's on the very cusp of revealing the price of the PS5 console along with pre-order information. The outlet cites a now-deleted tweet from UK video game retailer Game that hinted more details about the upcoming next-gen console would be revealed September 9th. Message from Guildford branch of the store revealed that Sony has a scheduled announcement planned for tomorrow about the PS5. Meanwhile, Express reports that another UK retailer, Simply Games, has emailed users about a possible reveal this week, also slating the info for a September 9th reveal. Notably, the date marks the 25th anniversary of the launch of the original PlayStation 5 console in North America. Screen Rant has reached out to Sony for comment, and this post will be updated with any further information. Those awaiting pre-orders have RYI. Please stand by for updates. PS5 have scheduled an announcement tomorrow, so things are about to kick off this week. If leaks are true, it means Sony is following quick on the heels of Microsoft. The rival tech company officially unveiled the S console for the first time today and announced that the system would only be $299 at launch, revealing a launch date for the next-gen console of November 10th. Newly announced platform will have slightly less impressive specs than the Series X and function as an all-digital with just 512 gigabytes of storage. However, there's still no concrete news on the Series X, when it will launch, or what it will cost. With both the PlayStation 5 and Series X expected to launch in November, it's strange that neither Microsoft nor Sony have revealed how much the next-gen console will cost. Both companies are likely waiting to let the other make the first move in hope of being able to undercut and score an early advantage. Wow. Y'all need to get an editor over here on Screen Rant. Score and early advantage. Score and early advantage. Of course, time is now running out, as there are only a few weeks left until the holiday season. Microsoft has also announced lots of new information about the Series S today, so Sony will likely have to try and steal back some of that spotlight, stop its competitor from gaining a real traction. How they steal back the spotlight? They're going to drop both consoles. One console is not going to have a disc tray, and one is. One's going to be $50 to $100 more than the other if you want a disc tray, if you don't want to go digital only. I mean, it's not rocket science. The console, the Sony isn't going with a lesser powered console to be cheaper. They aren't doing that. They're going with only one console, one without a disc tray. That's it. Instead of going like, hey, we're going to make this other console, but we're going to use less powerful stuff in it. Makes absolutely no sense if you're trying to create a viable product. You don't launch multiple variations of a console at the same time as another. And by variations, I don't mean, hey, this one's digital only. Hey, this one's, digital and hard. You can run discs in it. No. Variation being, hey, this console is 512 gigabyte hard drive SSD. This one is, a terabyte. This one has this GPU. This one has that GPU. You create an issue for your consumers. And you got to think. I know we're talking as adults here, but you got to think as adults who don't know anything about video games, who don't know much about tech, and are buying it for their kids. If their kids, they're 10, 12-year-olds, say around Christmas time, they want that console. What console do they get them? No, you're 100% right. Think of it this way, Martin. Thanks for joining the chat, by the way. I appreciate when people actually get involved in the conversation. Sony's going to have exclusives that you can only play on Sony. If they do ever come to PC, it's going to be 4, 5, 10 years down the road, right? Microsoft, on the other hand, allows you to play their games on console and PC. By the way, you play it on PC as Game Pass, and most of them go into the Steam store right away. If that's the case, you can buy your graphics card, play your Xbox games, save up a little more, and then buy a PS5. Because you're going to be able to play both sets of games at a more viable price, and you're going to be future-proofed on your PC. Like, if you really think about it, you're going to be future-proofed on your PC for quite a while. What is that RTX 3070? It's what, an 8K? It's an 8K capable? Is that what it is? I haven't done much research on it, so I've seen it talked about a lot lately, and they kind of slapped Microsoft in the face when they did that, because that basically takes away their Microsoft's talking point of, well, we're as powerful, if not more powerful, than most PCs this day and age at a more reasonable price. It'll be 4K. Yeah, that's what I figured. So it takes away the talking point of you can get 4K on the Xbox for $500 or $600, whatever the Xbox costs. Now you can get 4K on your PC for $500 for the 3070, right? Or the 30, the 3070. There you go. 3090 will be 8K. And yeah, the Xbox will scale to 8K. What's the price point of the 3090? The 3090 is probably going to be $500. If you can get that and you have a rig and don't have to change out the motherboard and other things to support it, there you go. You're future-proofed. What would be the point of buying their console? It's not because they make $1,500 for the 3090. Holy shit. Okay, that might be a little insane. I mean, if you can, do they have anything that upscales? Do any of their, and I'm asking as someone who has a decent PC and is fairly future-proof myself, but I ain't gonna spend $1,500 on a card. It ain't gonna happen. I'd rather freaking have 8K upscaling, you know what I mean, and deal with that, you know. But I can take my PC and play every single Microsoft Series X released game with Game Pass. They defeated themselves by saying they aren't going to keep certain exclusives exclusive to the console. Now, people will say, oh, that's not consumer friendly of Sony. No, that's Sony being a console. That's what consoles are supposed to do. Do PCs always give up all games? No. Should Xbox give up every game to PC? Not in my eyes, no. How do you sell a product if you have 5? It does have an app. They have the PS Now app. But the issue at hand is that they do not put same day. You do not get exclusives, Sony Studio exclusives, same day as release. Whereas Microsoft gives same day as release to Game Pass. So when Fable comes out, when Halo comes out, if you have Game Pass, you can play those on your PC that day. Same day as release. Sony has PS1, PS2, PS3 games on there, and then PS4 games that are a little older, usually 3 to 5 months out from release date, which is fine. So you can play it on both sides, and PS Now is it's a good deal. I think it's a great deal. I actually have it on my console because there's backwards games that I want to play on there. Games that I never got into and have heard about and want to experience, and they haven't remastered. I'll play it on the freaking PS Now. Everything can be downloaded onto the console except for the PS3 games because the way their network and their creation was, there was a cell processor for their shit, so they have to stream them. Sooner or later, they'll go downloadable. But my point is if you get everything on day of launch, what's your incentive to buy a console from the company? There isn't an incentive, and they've actually created a really weird situation for themselves. They're relying more on Game Pass. But if let's say you're selling your console for a $30 profit and you sell 40 million consoles, you have to hope that at least 40 million people get on your service of Game Pass and stay there for 3 months at least, because it's $9.99 a month on PC, to make up the amount of money you just didn't make. Plus, you have to hope that they don't have all the peripherals they need to play it on the PC. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, I forget what my I have an RTX. I think I have that RTX in my laptop. I have a i7 10th gen and RTX. I don't know which one in my laptop, but it has an SSD and all that shit. And so, like, I have my tower, which is I bought an Alienware because I didn't want to fucking self build, but it's completely pop-offable. I can fucking replace whatever. So, and it was future-proof at the time. It's still freaking high quality. It does VR. It does all that stuff, Yeah, that's a joke that it's going to be cheaper and it runs more. That's the hard thing about PC gaming, right? Like, let's say 1 year you spend $500 or $900 on a component like a graphics card or whatever, and then you want to go over to the newer graphics card the next year, and you're spending $500 more. You just spent $1,400, right? $1,400 within 2 years. One benefit you have with a console, in my eyes, is you spend $500 once every 7 years. Maybe you do a mid-round refresh with like the PS Pro. I did that. But I traded in my whole console and got $200 for the PlayStation regular edition, and then put that $200 towards my Pro, which was $399 at the time. So my Pro only cost me $200. So I spent $600 over for the actual units. I spent $600 over how many years? When did it come out? 2013. Over 7 years, I spent $600 for my gaming. I just feel like it's there's a lot of cost sink into PCs, in the sense that if you want to be on the front side of, graphics and all that shit. I remember when freaking 144 megahertz was the way to be. Now my laptop has a 300 hertz screen. Like, it's fucking insanity. The how fast things are changing on the computer tech side of things. Doesn't change as fast with consoles, because consoles, they usually allow to stick around for a while. And I mean, they're playing on TVs. I don't even know if there's TVs out there that have that high of refresh rates that'll be able to keep up with that shit. I think the standard, it's 60 megahertz for the standard TV. You're running into those issues where it's just one of those things. It's weird, I don't know. That's the hard thing for me with PC gaming, is the fact that it's so damn expensive. It truly is extremely expensive to keep ahead and, be viable. Now, if you add in peripherals and shit like that, now let's say a mouse and keyboard don't break as easily, right? Jake, you could definitely run Linux. You could run Linux on, I don't know if you could run, I don't know on the PS4, but I know on the PS3 you could as long as you weren't connected to the store, you were able to run Linux on it easily. Shit, you could probably take if you get your hands on a PS3 Fat Boy, get one of the Fat Boys, you could put Linux on it and run it as a server. And it's shit. A lot of people don't know this about the PS3 because they didn't give it a lot of opportunity or chance. And, Xbox 360 was the hot seller that generation. Well, at least for the early parts of that generation, they sold the most, right? And they were the hot console. Not many people take into consideration a factor that I actually looked at, and I had to buy two different Xbox 360s, and I had to send the second one in multiple times for Red Ring. Then I just fucking scrapped it and bought a new one. I bought 3. So I bought 3 totals, right? The second gen of the 360, I think it was the Elite or whatever it was. I bought that one because they fixed the heat sink issue. So I ended up purchasing 3 360s. One person buying 3 consoles. Even if you take into consideration one person buying 2 consoles, it had a 54% failure rate, right? So yeah, of course it sold a shit ton because they would break. Sony had some minor issues to it. Did the yellow blinking light. I never had that issue. I still have my Fat Boy downstairs in my room. But you could take the Fat Boy, right? The Fat Boy was used by Stanford, yes, a college, Stanford, as a supercomputer. Why? Because that microcell processor that they had in there was so powerful and actually game changing that it was so hard to produce games on. That's why people were publishing and producing games off of the hardware on Xbox and then porting it over to Sony. But it was so hard to produce on because it was so new. Now, they stripped it down, ran Linux, and if you had a PS3, if you remember, it had an app on it called Health or something like that. Basically, you would allow Stanford to use your processor in your PS4, connect to their servers, and use your processor to do cancer research. They were using probably 10 PS4s in a room, built out, probably with Linux, I would assume. and just running data crunching and basically collapsing it down and basically doing research for cancer. PC is cheap if you go back a few years and go for Xenon CPUs, one for 160, 8 core, 100 gig of RAM, and added a see something like that. Like, I mean, you could go freaking a little old school and then just go super high end with the what's called. I mean, I think if you're an early adapter is when it starts being a little cost inefficient. But I mean, you know, what's the most expensive component generally? It's the graphics card, right? You know, and if you're not having to get a new chipset every time, you know. So, but that's the thing is you could find a PS3 for super cheap and turn it into just have it run Linux instead. You wouldn't even have to jailbreak it because it had it where you could run the Linux operating system on it easily, and you could probably turn that into a game server or whatever your plan is and run it as a dedicated server or something like Arc or any kind of online, you know, networked gaming. And I mean, you can see what Arc does with that. And Arc basically allows you to use, like, I mean, I know I'm bringing up an example that's kind of an old example, but Arc allowed you to on the Xbox One and the PS4 to take in, if you have two consoles in your house, you could take one of them, turn it into a dedicated server for Arc, and then run co-op and the server as if you were running a purchase server, and you wouldn't have to worry about staying close to each other and other shit when you're playing Arc co-op and other things. So I'm sure you could do that with freaking a PS3 if you have it laying around as well. I wouldn't, because I just like the fucking PS3, and I still have a bunch of my PS3 games. And, you know, I mean, I haven't played it in fucking forever, but, you know, who knows? Maybe I'll just turn it into my freaking streaming platform because it runs 1080p. I don't need fucking anything else to stream video. I don't give a shit about anything else, you know? I watch most video on my cell phone nowadays. But these leaks are going to keep coming, and if Sony does release any information tomorrow, it'll be interesting to see. If not, if it's just going to be VR related. I know they are coming out with the VR2. The best selling VR on the marketplace. So I could see them freaking putting in a lot of work on it. I would like to see something like Half-Life Alyx come over to the PS5. I think the PS5 would be capable of running it. And what I've heard rumors of the plans for the PSVR 2 or whatever they're calling it, seems like it would be capable of running Alyx, and that would be fucking really cool if they brought Alyx over. It's just, it's not really viable to go out and buy that what headset. You can't run it on a standard VR rig like from like 2 to 3 years ago. You have to have that new rig they ran or whatever it was. Here, I'll just fucking, let me find. Let's see. I wonder if did they put out any? I think it was Dark Souls, Demon Souls. No, which one was the first one? Demon or Dark Souls? It was Dark Souls, right? There we go. I hate people who don't. I don't want screenshots, bro. Oh, it is Demon Souls. Whoops. That's another reason why I'm freaking super excited about freaking whatever. I'll play that. Obviously, I'm just playing in the background. Oh, it's running at 4K already. I'm super excited that they're bringing this over. Blue Point should be able to do a great job with it. And fuck, dude, it looks good. RTX 390 needs PCIe 4.0, I do believe, kind of face you to upgrade it to a new board. Yeah, that'll be a problem too. What's a board that would be capable of using that? What would that be price point wise? A couple $100? Is that, like I said, I've never built my own. I have the capability of opening up, but I've never actually built. Like, I'm okay with remasters. I'm okay with 300. Okay. So 300 plus the 390 is what? Fucking $1,500. So you're looking at $1,800 to be able to go full 4K. I mean, full 8K rather. But I mean, let's be realistic. If your eyes can't see the difference between 4K and 8K, it's just not fucking physically possible. Human eyes aren't meant to see it that way. Just not the way it is, you know? I don't know, man. I don't know, got a lot of good-looking games coming out. And the only reason I stick with PlayStation priority is because of the fact that I can't play it on anywhere else, you know? I already saw the tech demo. Yeah, that's one game that I freaking haven't seen. Be interested in. If they don't have any music, I'll play it with volume.
In breaking news, we've received reports of an explosion somewhere north of the city.
We're still waiting for the police to confirm.
I wonder if Gotham Knights is going to go no Batman.
Please bear with us.
We heard this really loud boom. There was smoke.
Rumor has it there's going to be no Batman. You're going to be playing as fucking only the sidekicks.
We are now able to confirm that billionaire philanthropist Bruce Wayne is...
See that? Is he dead? Did he get blowed up? Demon Souls is fucking great, dude. That was the core.
If you're watching this, I'm dead.
Oh shit, they got the frickin' what's his name to
Black.
That's the animated Batman voice.
This message was automatically triggered when I destroyed the cave and everything it contained. We both know it won't take long for Gotham's criminals to realize the Batman is gone. And you can't count on the GCPD. Haven't trusted us since Jim died. Gotham will need its protectors more than ever. I'm leaving you the Belfry as base of operations. Some of the technology is outdated, but it has the gear you need and all of my files. You've always had my back when I needed you. I know you'll keep Gotham safe. Good luck. And goodbye.
Really gonna kill Batman? Hold on, is that the frickin'... Hold on. I'm so confused. I haven't kept up with Batman lore. Okay. Any of you nerds in here? What? Who's the guy with the red mask? Is that the Red Hood after, like, is that Red Hood after he becomes good or something? Kind of confused. Okay, Batman with guns? Who is this guy? You're playing Remnant for Mashes? Yeah, I've heard it's great. It's on PS4. I haven't dove into it. Who is that Deadpool? Did Deadpool cross over? Hold on, I need to figure out who this is because I'm kind of confused. Like I said, I haven't watched this yet. I'm super confused. Red Mask, Batman. What is that called? Gotham Knights? Is that Red Hood? It is Red Hood. He becomes a good guy. Oh! Stop it! I'll fucking kill you. Yeah, there's Red Hood. It's Jason Todd. Huh. Interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and rewind that. Fucking Batman with guns? Oh, I'm surprised now. You know, it'd be fucking dope if they put co-op in this. Is Squad on PS4 yet? Squad. I don't know what Squad is. I might be lost. This would be cool if they had co-op. Search. I have my PS4 on right now. 4-player co-op? Come on.
No one talks about them.
Oh, Scarecrow?
Not a whisper word is said.
Who's that? The Illuminati?
For if you try to crush them, then the town strikes you dead.
Oh, why is this such a long? Is this you gonna go through and give like freaking commentary or something, goofball? Okay.
These paramedics, ASAP units, shootout in progress at Elliott Center.
Games Montreal. I'm really honored to give you a quick look at our gameplay.
Oh, this is the
Whatever's causing this is localized at the top.
We're gonna look at a short clip from one of Gotham Knight's villain crimes.
This is one of the
in a pre-alpha build.
Creator. This is a pre-alpha build? Holy
this
shit.
Mission is halfway through the Mr. Freeze storyline, and we're playing Batgirl a dozen or so hours into her character progression.
Robin joined the session. If this is pre-alpha, holy shit. They're God, what are they aiming for?
All units at Elliott Center. Air support inbound. Hostiles opening fire on upper floors. Air support, can you do a fly around?
Freeze has recently returned to Gotham with a mysterious agenda that involves manipulating the weather to flash freeze the city.
We need a way to get through the...
Oh no, man. If this is... Oh, look. Hold on. God damn it. He probably said something that I wanted to pay attention to there. Hold on.
Air support, can you do a fly around?
Looks like...
recently returned to Gotham with
It
a
looks like
mysterious
it's
agenda
gonna be
that
co-op.
involves manipulating the weather to flash freeze the city.
We need a way to get through that ice.
An important goal for Gotham Knights was that players can play all of the game either solo or in two-player co-op.
Oh. Okay. that just made it a buy for me because I like games that allow you to play the full story with a buddy, with someone else. Because me and Sicko, who I wish would have been on the call today, and who's the co-founder of this channel, play co-op games, full story games together all the way through. That's what we do. We play our shooters, we do all that shit. But co-op games, and I mean, they've taken away the reason for people to come over to people's houses and play video games. There's no more couch parties or LAN parties or anything else. They made the internet so fucking good that it's to the point where every game that is this type of game that has multiple characters built into it should have a co-op. If it's a full single player story that has, I don't know, like the Fallout, like has companions, you should be able to play co-op on it. That's just my opinion. And they need to keep doing that with these kind of games because, quite honestly, that makes it a fucking buy for me. I'm gonna keep playing this.
How to access the Justice League satellite for
I'm gonna grab some more water, but I'll be in the chat. I'll be right back, guys.
Meanwhile, Batgirl has mastered some more familiar techniques. And developed a few new ones of her own.
Montoya here. Heard you're down there having some fun.
Fun's one word for it.
Just a heads up, that chopper's under orders to fire on anything that moves inside.
The Gotham City Police. Drop your weapons or we will open fire. Returning fire!
The storm is getting worse. You need to hurry and find a way inside Elliott Center.
The GCPD chopper made that part easy. This doesn't look up to code. If anyone asks, I meant to do that.
I won't say a word.
Tours were still going on when Freeze came through.
Those poor people. They didn't stand a chance.
Gotham Knights is built to let players approach each challenge with their preferred style and their preferred build.
You know how cold it is up there, right? You want to die of exposure? Be my guest.
This'll only take a second.
Check it out. What the hell is she doing? Keep them occupied.
Yeah, so that's fucking cool. I might have to check out Remnant. Let me pause this real quick, because this game's looking fucking really good. I saw a buddy of mine, Cognitive Thought, is playing Remnant. He's been playing Remnant on stream, and it looks good. I grabbed my PS4 controller. Let's see. Going to the store real quick. Hold on. Move the what's it called out of the way. Did you say squads? Yeah, I don't see anything called squads, so I don't think that's on PS4. Let me see Remnant. Squad. Okay, it's new. Is it a what is it? If you could give me a brief TLDR of it. That's why, okay, so I bought Avengers. I'm digging it. I like that it has co-op. I like that missions have, it's a war game. No, I'll look it up after this trailer. I'll take a look at it. Like, I think games that, like, the cool factor is that you don't have to stay with your partner, and it's completely open world. Like, Robin went off and was doing his own thing and stealthing through, and she's in here just kicking ass. The fact that you could take different approaches to meet the same goal as a co-op game is fucking really cool.
No precision.
Now, obviously, you know, if you're playing on the hardest difficulty, you might want to partner up and be close to each other to help each other out. Oh, Robin's downstairs now.
Dad, you're it.
That's cool too, that you can freaking do joint moves and shit. That's really cool. But it's insane. If this is their pre-alpha build, what the hell is the final gonna look like? This is 4K footage. And it's gonna be on the new gens.
These cables on the floor. Guaranteed they lead to freeze.
Let's get back. Let's get a little further ahead. Let's see if there's some more action. There's some cutscene, it looks like.
Field disruptors in place. It's charging.
They went with freaking the animated Mr. Freeze too. That's what I'm
That
talking
what you're
about.
calling it? You don't want to be on the roof when this disruptor goes off. Trust me.
Okay, the lip sync looks good.
I already have what I need. The storm has risen over Gotham. Nothing can stop it.
Fucking pre-alpha. Even the lip sync looks good.
You cannot run from me.
Robin coming in all stealth behind. The amount of damage they're taking.
Gotham Knights is that as the player increases in power and ability, their foes keep pace.
I like that.
So confronting a villain like Mr. Freeze can be a very different proposition at level 5 or at level 15.
Yeah, that's what I was going
and
to say.
not just in terms of stats, but in the kinds of attacks and defenses they bring to bear.
Fuck, man.
And that was just a short peek at Gotham Knights. We're going to have more to show you in the future.
Let's see. Squad. Squad 40 versus 40. Okay. I don't care about your music. Okay, let's see. Fucking camping. Do you have anything where you're not cutting every 5 second? Fallujah. Whoo. Oof. Dude, I don't care about your memes, bro. No one cares about your memes. It's all fucking the tires blown out. I mean, it looks pretty good, man. No one cares. Operator Drewski. I like that they're doing real places with it. It's only 39. Might have to fucking get in on that. Get Sicko and me it. If I can, he could run it on his desktop. I could run it on the PC. I mean, on my laptop. Let's see. Let's get to a firefight. Let's see when they 40 versus 40. That's fucking legit, man. That's what I'm talking about. Is it okay? Since you guys have played it or you know a little bit more about it, is it single life? Like once you're dead, you're dead? Yeah, very team based. I'm okay with team based. You know what game I really fucking loved? And let's see. I don't know if you guys remember this. Mag. It was on PS3. It was 256 players. It was made by the team that made SOCOM. It was a first person. I know the buildings might look a little cheesy, but this was fucking 256 players in mag stand for massive action game or massive something like that. But ooh, but it was really fun. I fucking loved it. It was made by Zipper, who's now no longer existent, because of fucking some bad choices by Sony. But it was a huge game. This is, I don't know if this is this is only a A and B location they're holding. This might be a 256 match. 256 players on the PS4. Yeah, they're in squads of, I think, 10. It wasn't like SOCOM, where it was insta death, one death, one life, you know. But yeah, so they've had the capabilities of games that could run 256 players on. Yeah, that's what I just saw. Is it was 100 versus 100, and the most recent update it was 40 versus 40, and they opened it up to opened it up to 100 versus 100, 100 versus 100. Let's see. This is the more recent one. I don't care about your fucking intro. I like realism in my shooters. Like, that's why I think I've been enjoying Call of Duty. It's Battle Royale. It's for the simple fact that one life, one, you know. Fallujah Invasion. Oh, you have different classes. Squad 6. And the fact that they're using realistic world places is pretty cool. What was the game called? Remnant from the Ashes? Yeah, PS4 does have Remnant from the Ashes. Is it is it a shooter? I was looking at the Ashes. Trailer. Let's see. Obviously, this is freaking. Character building. Okay. Get with that. I like when they can build your own character. Okay, so it's like a hack and slash? Okay. Yeah, I'm a big fan of shooting games that are team-based. But they have guns at some point, right? Because the PlayStation thing shows guns. I'm just curious if they have... Actually looks pretty cool. This might be a good game for me and Sicko to stream on this channel. Sorry, I know I'm not talking. I'm just paying attention. Let me see if it... as long as there's no commentary. Fucking hate when I'm trying to just watch something. I hate when there's commentary. So, you know, I'm doing that right now. But, you know, this isn't gameplay footage. Just me looking at things.
Hang on.
Good, man. This is a year ago too, so I'm sure they freaking have put in updates. I still play World of Warcraft, 15 years into it. I've been looking for the next big hit. You would have some catching up to do, but Final Fantasy 14. Final Fantasy 14 is fucking really good. I played it on my PS4. I freaking loved it. Played it for 4 or 5 years straight, and then it's been out since it was out on PS3. So played for 4 or 5 years straight, and then took a break from it. And you know, they're on their 3rd expansion. You can get all 3 expansions plus the core game for $60. Obviously it's subscription based because, you know, it is what it is. It's an MMO. Definitely a good game. Let me see. Let's get past the cutscene.
Because you gotta find the reactor, you start seeing like the...
Oh, he's actually talking. I don't care. It definitely looks cool. Okay, so there are guns and swords. And it's co-op, huh? Yep. This might be something worth freaking looking into. I had to plug my PlayStation controller in because it was freaking dying. But this definitely might be something looking into. Yeah, I've seen he's streaming it. I haven't watched any of his streams yet on it because I've been, you know, freaking applying places and trying to find a marketing gig. Curious. I actually applied for EA because they have a social media / community manager position available for Apex Legends. So hopefully I'll get an interview with them. And then I have I have one interview lined up for next week and then potentially 2 others. So things are starting to pick back up on the normal here in California. Hopefully a lot of spots are opening up, it looks like, for work and stuff. Oh man. This game actually looks really fucking good. And if it's co-op and fucking RPG, fucking hack and slash mixed with guns, I don't know, man. Let's see how much it costs. The complete edition. I might freaking scoop it for me and Sicko. Grab us each a copy. We could freaking stream this. Seems like it would be something fun. We've been as I know you're new to the channel over here, Martin, I think, right? You're fairly new to the channel. I've been posting a lot of like our Call of Duty moments and goofing around on there. We haven't done a live stream or any kind of conversational on this channel in quite some time because of some internet issues the Spectrum has with fucking pulling bandwidth and fucking with Call of Duty and causing EA. It would be for EA, working for Electronic Arts as a community manager for Apex Legends, and I think one other game. But that'd be dope because it'd be in the industry. I'm a big gaming person. I also applied for Activision as a community manager / social media manager role for. It might be for the new Cold War. They didn't say what it was for, but it said Call of Duty related. So it might just be a community manager for the Call of Duty in general. So I've been hitting up anything on the marketing side. So I'm gonna look cut games. Lately I've been buying games like crazy. Look for the next thing that I haven't found. Like day one of WoW. I'll tell you this, you want a great game that has great voice actor? Dude, I don't have a voice act. I don't have a voice for voice acting. I mean, I could do Mickey Mouse. Fucking someone whoever dies that does Mickey Mouse, I could do them. But no, it would be Final Fantasy 14. Great MMO. Has a lot of similar features as World of Warcraft in essence, where it has raid finder, dungeon finder, shit like that. If you've been playing since day one of WoW, you probably missed out on day one or of playing Final Fantasy 11, which was their MMO, which is still active and came out before WoW. It came out a year before WoW came out. And it was a more hardcore MMO where there was no dungeon finders. If you wanted to do a raid, you had to start a party and go to the actual location and fight the boss at the spot. Raids weren't just, 8 people. You could do multiple raids and multiple size. Stuff like that. Remnant's got a freaking, looks like it has a voice tree or a question tree or a dialogue tree, Might be good. I might dig a little more into this. Hold on. This is running. I'd be curious to, Cyberpunk is most likely freaking going to be an amazing game. I'm just curious what they're going to do with it long run and stuff. Let's see what Remnant costs on the PS4. It's probably like $40 by now. I can't fucking complete edition on the PS4. $49. $49. Yeah, I saw this a while. Oh, it barely. Hold on, it only barely released on August 20th. Oh, the complete edition barely released on August 20th. Yeah. Cyberpunk's going RTX. Yeah. I think it'll be curious to see what they end up doing with that game. I'd definitely be interested in how they go and if they can meet or beat what they did with The Witcher 3, which would be it's a big shoes to fill to beat The Witcher 3, or at least meet the standards of The Witcher 3. Which I think The Witcher 3 and Ghost of Tsushima are on par with each other. Both fucking great games. We'll see what they end up doing in the long run. When it comes to Cyberpunk has a lot of potential, and I hope that they don't end up wasting it, to be quite honest, because it needs its due, and they've proven with Witcher 3 that they have the capability of putting out a phenomenal story, and I hope Cyberpunk 2077 lives up to the hype. I haven't looked at it for a while. Have they released anything? Because that's supposed to be coming out pretty soon, right? Cyberpunk. Sorry. Let's see what new videos come out. Remnant looks great. I'm gonna have to freaking whoa. Nvidia trailer. Oh, dude, don't give me. Let's see if Nvidia. I don't want your frame by frame analysis. This was last week. Okay, so it is going RTX. It's captain on the Ampere, however it's pronounced. Ampere. Jesus. November 19th. Let's see. Let's see if they got freaking. Go to filter. What's latest? Latest. Nothing. Hate that they don't have that. Here we go. The music alone fucking just sounds so cool. Oh, that's 4K.
Hey V, I have a job for you. A client of mine is making an arms deal. He needs protection. It could get hot. Very hot.
Yeah, I got the complete edition for $19 the other day on PSL, or $10, 10 or 19.
You better gear up for this.
That music's gonna get freaking popped. Tell, because it actually has words. Oof. Is it a you can kill anyone? I don't remember if that was the case. Fennec? Looks like a Fennec. Smart weapons? Oh. That's fucking sick. Oh. I mean, it looks fucking gorgeous, man. it reminds me like it's like what a Fallout game should be. Oof. And you carry a grenade launcher in your arm.
Yeah, I'm in.
I don't know, man. That fucking looks pretty clean, gotta say.
I love this town.
Let's see what they got. Life paths. Interesting.
Well, who do we have here? Grew up in Haywood. Whole street was my family. Neighbors helped each other out. Thought nothing of it.
I'm pleased to see you have not forgotten your roots.
Born here, live here, die here.
Childhood memories. Robbing buildings, running away from badges. Iron tasted blood from a split lip. Motherfucker. Got everybody fighting for a slice of the street.
Get the fuck out of Vista.
Keep getting jumped. You find some stronger tubers.
Do you want to spend the rest of your days blasting scabs? Or become a legend overnight?
We have arrived. The Major.
Ready to get your cherry bobbed? Yeah, come on.
My childhood.
Yeah, it is. It is going all platform.
Racing my bobber for the first time through the hills.
It was it was released. It's coming to freaking PS4, Xbox, all that jazz.
Make our family.
PC. It's a full release on November 19th.
Higher duty that stands solid as an old oak.
My family's in pieces. That's why I'm headed for Night City.
Makes you an outcast among outcasts.
Oh, you're gonna have 3
Miss this, you know?
main character lines.
Camaraderie.
I know. I saw it in your heart the first time we met.
Know what I always liked about nomads? Your taste, no, hunger for freedom.
Well, you got to think of it this way: if the PS4 and the Xbox One X are coming out, or the Xbox Series X, pardon me, they should have just called it the Xbox 2. I don't know why they called it the Xbox One, and then didn't call it the Xbox 2. The Xbox 2X and the PS5 come out around November 10th. This is gonna be a release on it. Like, I would assume they've got to be putting the port together and everything as well to go over right away, or fairly close.
Not easy to come by in Night City. Corp's got their grubby claws and everything.
But you also have to remember the PlayStation is going to be able to play PlayStation 5 will play PS4 discs, so you will be able to play PS4 disc on the PS5 with upscaling. So might just buy this and then freaking pop it into my PS5, because whenever PS5 comes out, I'll be on pre-order for it.
I have those reports you asked for.
They were supposed to be ready yesterday.
The world's going to tear us apart when the word gets around.
The world's never going to find out.
If I go down, you're going down with me. No, I'm not fucking joking.
This isn't a request, V. But no way you're fucked, right? You're the one who fixes other people's shit.
If you work in Arasaka counter intel, you're always fucked.
Today, they got you to zero somebody. to somebody else to zero you.
What's the rules, Jack?
It's gonna be interesting.
Top, gotta have some skin in the game.
Yeah, but you're not on top.
Playing the 3 different classes.
Is. And you're the pendejo who keeps him there. Work for yourself, live for yourself. That's the only way.
That shit's gonna be. That game looks like it's gonna be massive. Massive. If they have 3 different main classes. I don't know, man. That's gonna be. Okay, so you see that they've been pumping it up too over the last few days. They've been pumping out content. Oh, these are all the people who've been doing their music. Oh no. Looks like it's gonna be a great game. Alrighty. So here we go. I'm gonna call it for the night, guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out. If you're new to the channel, throw a like on the video on your way out. Subscribe. We will be doing more live content probably tomorrow night. I'm gonna check the news and see what we got going on. Maybe tomorrow or the next day I'll do another live. I'm gonna get Sicko to get on the call this time, and then I'll probably play some games on here and stuff as well. But we'll be rolling more content out on here, so you can keep your eyes open for that, especially with the clips and videos I've been putting together for our content that we've been doing with the good old Call of Duty content. Gotta love Call of Duty content. Appreciate you guys hanging out. And thanks, Wyatt. Thanks, Senor Martin, I believe it was. Sorry, yes, Martin. Thank you for hanging out, Martin. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out. New content coming all the time. Thanks again, fellas.